and that would be Muff Snatcher. So, you know, it puts me in a kind of an odd spot because not only am I whispering the down-downs, but, you know, I like to be mean and cruel to you guys, but tonight I can only say nice things because, you know, it's Muff Snatcher, for God's sakes. So, he was a major figure. I know some of you guys are newbies and things like that. First time here, we have a lot of returning hashers. You know what? You know, why don't we bring all the returning hashers up here? All you people who came out special for tonight, not our normal hashers, but returning hashers we haven't seen for a long time. Why don't you guys come up here in honor of Muff Snatcher and grab yourself a beer?
And for our new boots, the example of the love that the hash is possible of, just look at these guys. Do we have any visitors who aren't necessarily returners, but are visitors from the cause?
Come on up, come on up.
We got enough returners.
We got enough returners.
The
Now, so many of these people I haven't seen in ages, and some of them, you know, I'm like, oh my God, you again. But I mean, I'm touched, and I think everyone is by. By the fact that so many people have shown up tonight. Tonight was really cold. Usually we have 12 people tonight.
Especially because Cherry was there.
Because Cherry was the hair, and because it was cold.
And there's cops.
And because it's because of me. Because we're next to a police station. And believe me, Cherry will drink all the rest of the year for this. Alright, so let's have a big down for Muff Snatcher and all his buddies who came out especially tonight. We haven't seen in so long a time. Here's to Brother Hasher, Brother Hasher. Here's to Brother Hasher, may he chug a lug. He's happy, he's jolly, he's fucked up by golly. Here's to Brother Hasher, may he chug a lug. So drink, motherfucker, drink, motherfucker, drink, motherfucker, drink, motherfucker.
Like you point out, Muff Snatcher stuff is all
What's the crime?
You know, I think the police left because they're going, this is pathetic. Don't these people know how to drink? Yeah. So,
we can bring the keg out again?
Yeah, we can bring the keg out again. So, anyways, what was I going to say? Can we bring up Muff Snatcher's family?
You mean Steve's family, right?
Steve's family.
Oh, Steve's family, yes. I can say Steve's family.
Steve Ruddy's family.
They know he's called Muff Snatcher. No, it is. His family they're the Kumbaya people. No, they know better. But we just wanted to introduce you, and you know, Steve was such an important part of our lives, and we really just adored him. He was a great friend and everything like that. And he'd been with our hash.
You're talking about he drank all the beer.
And that's why the kegs are tapped. He's still here.
And you know, he used to hang out in the back, and you know, he'd be there for a long time, and you know, he met a lot of the girls here, but he finally met the right girl. It was Slug. It wasn't me, because I was a girl at that time. Yes. And we go, you know, you've taken a lot from this group. Maybe you should be GM. So he was not only a great hasher, but he was a GM, for God's sake.
What year was that?
He contributed. That's the thing. He contributed. I remember he'd stand right there. Now we have a weird face right there. Let me see, who is that? And he would always give me down downs. He was one of the best at giving down downs. And you know, so now we have to have someone step up, because you know, someone else has got to do it now. But you know, a lot of people. He was a great hasher. He was the GM. He was everyone's friend. And we just loved him dearly. So,
and he wrote a great great hash trash too.
And he,
Yes.
oh yeah, that's right. You know, my
Yes,
favorite
that's
joke,
hash trash.
one of my favorite jokes was when Just Doesn't Get It was
Oh, that
and Just Doesn't Get It was RA, and he was down at Sports Basement, and he gave the longest crime, longest religion we'd ever heard. He got everyone up there, and Muff Snatcher the next day wrote, he goes, I'm writing this at 10:30 in the morning, and downs are still going on. He was really funny. He was the best.
I'd like to point out, okay, I'm just... Stand up! One thing was that when Steve as a GM, the following year, there was all this stuff that was going on, and he would say, you know, that would have never happened on my watch. So with that in mind, I'd like to point out that we ran out of beer tonight, and it would have never happened.
Too many people loved him and showed up.
Right. So, you know, the idea here is to celebrate Muff Snatcher. And, you know, I was talking to Coming Mother on the phone, and he's going, well, you know, we're talking about it, and he goes, we want to make it fun, and you know, like Muff Snatcher was. We don't want to be like morose like Muff Daddy. We want it to be fun. So, in fact, even Coming Mother goes, you know, if it was me, I'd want everyone to dress up like me. All right. Don't step out in front of the
Keep it in mind.
Yeah. So I think we should, if anyone else would like to talk about Muff Snatcher, please come up and say a few words, because he was just, you know, it's unbelievable that he's at the great on. There he is.
All I say here's to the family.
Here's the, we haven't even given the family their down. Oh, we should introduce the family. Yes.
Please do.
Okay.
I'm Els. I'm Sean's girlfriend, and Sean is Steve's son.
I'm Vicky, Steve's sister.
I am Sean, Muff Snatcher's son.
I can't even say that word.
Is it because it's a, yes, it's a tongue twister, right?
Sean, help her out.
You got these little, they're really bad beer, but you have to drink
Did you stare at get to?
Yeah.
He can tonight.
Right next to the police station.
Yeah. All right, we're doing a little underage drinking. A slippery slope.
Next week it's a firehouse.
You'll make a great officer one day.
And who do we have?
Oh, I'm Garrett. I was Steve's nephew.
And I'm Bronwyn.
Steve's sister.
Snatchers. And if I just have one moment, he loved you guys. He absolutely loved you guys. And it's great to be a part of this tonight. Thank you for having us.
We're here thanks to Sean.
You for being here.
I'm Steve's dad, and I was really worried when I heard about the red dress.
Hey, he was pretty hot.
That's
right, that bitch Fiona took it from me!
I'm going to ask about the push-up bra.
Stop.
It's on the website.
It's a miracle.
He did love it. I couldn't believe it. He was traveling from San Jose to San Francisco on Mondays to run with a bunch of...
We don't believe in censorship.
Drunk cross-dressers?
So, thank you. Thanks to Sean. He got us out here tonight, and we wouldn't have missed it for you.
And I also want to add that Stephanie is here too. She's a little shy to come up here, but his daughter.
Wait, where is she?
Come on, Stephanie. Get up there.
Say hi, Steph.
Where are you?
Say hi to the back. Say hi to the lady.
Everybody turn around and she'll be in the front.
So should we have a down for the family?
Yes.
Really? They're the meanest.
They suck the horse's penis. They're the meanest that the horses has. Hey, ever since they found it, hey, all they do is kind of, hey, they're the meanest that the horses has. So drink
Who came up with that?
That's a nice story for a song for the family. Alright, so we have
A different song.
I'm Nymph Fisher.
Once,
Don't know about maybe half of you.
Pass respect, please.
And had a couple stories. One of them is I've worked with Steve, Muff Snatcher, for about.
I think you might have to do a down.
Ziggy
Ziggy, oi, oi, oi. Ziggy, oi, oi, oi. They have to use the proper name. It's rude to not use it.
So I've worked with Muff Snatcher for 15 years, and it was a pretty remorse day at the office today, where people were asking what we can do. And I thought about it and says, well, why don't we take a collection for his favorite charity?
Yes.
The hash! Free beer for a decade!
$15,000 before somebody asked where the non-profit for the hash was.
We're working on it.
Actually, I've also worked with actually both of Steve's parents for years. It's sort of a strange.
We love it.
But my story about Muff Snatcher is he actually brought me up to the hash and he was telling me about it. We had a running group that would run most every day at noon and go out and talk about stories. And Steve was Muff Snatcher.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drink. What happens when you run out of beer?
He's doing that because the kegs are tapped.
Muff Snatcher was the only single guy in the group. And so all us married guys would always say, okay, come on, tell us what's going on. Tell us about who he was. And some situations worked, and, relationships changed and all. And one time he told me, he says, hey, I met this really good person at the hash the other night from Oakland. And he said, did you know Slug? And I said, no, I don't know her. Anyways, he was telling me.
This guy's gonna drink all our beer.
Here, we'll give you another one just because you're going to need it.
So it was we were teasing him about, meeting Slug and going on. And a little bit later, he actually, I don't know, 6 months or 9 months later and all, he was talking about buying a guitar. He said that his guitars disappeared because his kids had kind of wandered off with him. And so he was looking at buying a new one, and I asked him about a week later, I says, well, how's that guitar coming? He says, I kind of put that off. I bought an engagement ring instead.
The cheap bastard! Price of a guitar?
So it took him about 9 months or 12 months later, but I think he finally bought the guitar. Here's to you, Fiona.
Really gonna give him all the
Zuma, hey! Zuma, hey! Drink it down, you Zuma warrior. Drink it down, Zuma. Hey! All right, I really hate to do this, but
the midget's coming.
Coming Mother has some comments.
Stand up!
Okay, so translation.
English!
I'm hoping that not everybody can understand this, in particular the parents. This is a very solemn occasion, and so I thought I would do it in hash style and say something irreverent about Muff Snatcher. He was a wonderful, wonderful bloke,
well controlled, calm, cool, collected, and he never seemed to get drunk. At least I never actually saw him drunk.
You were drunk.
But there was one occasion early on in the period when he was dating the lovely Slug, where he actually did overserve himself, or maybe somebody else spiked him or something like that. And he retired to bed somewhat smashed and not very capable, and with a full bladder, and he didn't realise it. Because I was hiding somewhere. Well, guess where I was hiding?
Under the bed?
He wasn't familiar with the place because it was not his place. It was Slug's place. And he got up in the middle of the night and decided he must relieve himself, and went on autopilot to the bathroom, and not wanting to disturb his lovely lady, didn't turn the light on. This is a bit unfortunate because the layout is somewhat different. He found out somewhat later on by being beaten over the head that he had peed in the closet.
Acceptable hash behavior.
Don't let that detract you from his memory. He's absolutely wonderful, wonderful bloke, and at heart, a true hasher.
How do you think they got into this world?
The muff snatcher.
That's so, a soldier I will be. Two pistols on my knee.
For me, for me,
Country and my queen. A soldier I will be. Drinking down.
Right. All right. We have a retired person, so he's going to need a light.
Someone help him up! Someone help him up!
Right, they're out there, by the way. They're out there. Let's speak that direction.
Hey, you asshole. He's really.
I have a little
hose blower.
9-page story that Mustache wrote.
Faster,
I'm only
funnier.
gonna read the first paragraph. A little background. Back in 2005, myself and Muff Snatcher and another hasher who has now relocated to Philadelphia. Where's my vagina?
I don't know, where is it?
What's that got to do with the story?
Bastard. Yeah.
Fill up your beer. Oh, the beer's gone, sorry. We took a little road trip that started in Italy, made its way to Croatia, and then made its way back to Italy. And when you take a trip like that, you got to have planning meetings. We had a lot of planning meetings for many, many months leading up to our little road trip across the seas. And in the process of the planning meetings, we typically met on Sundays to plan something, and the plans made it as far as some local pubs, most of the time Shanghai Kelly's, and nothing got planned. During the planning process, it was made known to us that somebody close to the hash was moving back east, not where's my vagina, and this person had a couch. And they were going to leave this couch, and we thought, I could use a couch. And so we decided we were going to move the couch from her place to my place, again on one of these Sundays. It turned out to be a beautiful March Sunday. It happened to be March 13th of that year. It also happened to be the day of the St. Patty's Day Parade in San Francisco, but a gorgeous, unbelievable day. And we thought, we're going to move the couch. How do we want to move it? And Where's My Vagina said, well, why don't we carry it? And we looked at her, Steve and I, Muff Snatcher looked at her and said, well, you know, there's hills in San Francisco, and this is like a dozen blocks. It turned out to be 15 blocks. And she's like, we could do it. So we said, okay, it's, you know, it turns out it's a beautiful Sunday morning, we'll move the couch. And Muff Snatcher shows up with his truck, because he knows we're not going to be able to carry this thing, so we'll put it in my truck. I show up thinking, we're not going to be able to carry this thing, we'll put it in this truck. Where's My Vagina? It's like, we can carry this thing. And I'm sure everyone here can relate to an event or events they have in their life that are epic. And I say that really in a truly meaningful way. We moved the couch for 6 hours, 15 blocks. and literally, by the time the couch made it to my apartment, we had met the most incredible group of people that we at that morning had never known, and we just decided we're going to have other people in the city carry the couch for 15 blocks. And we showed up with a cooler on a little baggage roller, boombox with no batteries, the latest with batteries, and we ended up in my apartment with a boombox that worked, a shopping cart that some homeless guy gave us, a couch, 3 military guys who were on a weekend leave here in San Francisco from Canada who did the final leg of the carrying of the couch, and everything that happened in that 15 blocks. And truthfully, that was one of those events in life where by the end of the day we were so overwhelmed by how awesome it was, and everybody that we met along the way, we knew that when they went to their jobs or to their families that night or on Monday, they were like, you can't believe what we did today.
You guys didn't have a truck.
Yeah. And I'd forgotten about, not forgotten about it, but it was just on the back burners, and today I thought I should pull up the story, because after this thing ended, we were like, this is incredible. And it turned out, where's my vagina? She documented this whole thing. Yeah. She documented this whole thing, and Muff Snatcher decided, I'm going to write a story about this. And he wrote a story, and he actually spent some time connecting with some people who were pretty well-known authors here in San Francisco, actually trying to get it published. But in the process, that was a very good experience for him. But he wrote this wonderful story with photos and stuff that ended up online. I tried to print it tonight, my printer ran out of ink. I found out from Wet Nurse that it turns out Where's My Vagina back in Philadelphia put it online today.
Oh yeah, it's on the mailing list.
Yeah. It's on the so it's out there. I didn't know that. I found an old copy I have, and so that's a long build up to it. But what I want to do is I want to read just the first paragraph, because it was mentioned about his hash trash. He was amazing at many things: music, his job, his obviously just relationships with everyone. He also wrote entertainingly, but also very well. And the first paragraph here sums up this day that really was life-altering for all of us in some small way, and for other people that we came in contact with. So I'll read it. I'll probably stumble over it, but it's just the first paragraph I'm going to read of this. And there are photos on this if you go online and find this thing. So I'm going to start now. It says, the couch sits askew on the corner of Polk and Pacific, facing the intersection. The sunny mid-March Sunday in San Francisco is just beginning to give way to 5 o'clock shadows cast east by nearby buildings. A young woman with outstretched arms and a matching smile crouches in front, and the perfect line created by her arms is tilted at an angle like a child playing airplane. The rest of us join in her enthusiasm as we position ourselves on and around the couch, giving one the impression that we'd all known each other for years instead of the minutes that so far had defined our acquaintance. The silhouette extending into the crosswalk belongs to another new friend, and he has just captured the day in a single photograph. The couch is on its way to an apartment that is still several blocks away, but pauses here for a short time. Myself and 2 friends have been moving it for nearly 4 hours, and while we were not yet done, neither have we been working very hard. In fact, we've had much help along the way. And that was the first paragraph to lead into the rest of the story. That was the talent that he had, and he brought that to everyone. And those people that day experienced that, and he was an integral part of that day. He was an integral part of all our lives, and he, in that moment, decided to write this. And it was awesome. So I just wanted to say that.
Thank you.
One, you like? Finger in the air.
Would you like a finger in your ear? No, sir.
Just, or whatever your name.
That's nose blower. That brings back memories.
You don't have a hash name yet?
Yes.
Muff Snapper Jr.
My dad gave me one.
What's the Hershey squirt?
Is that your hash name?
He's going to go to a different hash to get a name.
Scarlet Thatcher.
Can I share his last name that he gave?
Yes.
Well, first,
So-
what's your major?
Yes, so I am a graduate student in statistics. So if you didn't already guess, by me messing up how I said that.
Statistics.
Yeah. He named me Stat Tits Dick. Carry that name forever. I wrote stuff down because it's easier to do. It's beautiful to see everyone here. So many people. I can't tell you how much it means to me to see all of you here. I've met so many of you over the years, and I can't even begin to express how happy I was that my dad wanted to and enjoyed introducing me to all of you. I was so proud to be Muff Snatcher's fucking son. He inspired me to run. You know, very few people know this, and I hate to share it. There was a time when I was 200 pounds. I dropped 45 pounds in a few months. And I haven't gone back. And it was because that guy inspired me to be healthy, to run.
Post your diet online, by the way. Unless it says no beer.
Yes.
No beer. No beer.
Being healthy. Yeah. Being healthy was my father, and I want to honor that. Part of running for me was just to be closer to him. You know? He loved it. He started when he was 15. He kept a running journal. Every run he did track. He was an athlete through and through. And it succeeded. He was proud of every achievement I made in running, even if it broke his record. I broke his 5K record by mere seconds. I broke his half marathon record by mere seconds.
Racist!
His 10K record stays intact. And I promise it stays intact forever.
Don't make promises you can't keep.
We only went on a few runs together in our life. But those are some of the best memories.
Wednesday.
The first hash I went on with him. Well, it wasn't really a run. It was a bar hash. No. We weren't dressed up. We had dinner at Ben and Nick's in Rockridge in Oakland, where I live. Not in Ben and Nick's. We walked to Barclays where the bar hash was being held. Fix Queer was there. He was starting it. He was
that?
And that's when I met Jen and Shane. Who I know were very close to him. I was so glad I met them that day. And I met other people.
You know, my dad and I, we weren't dressed up in our running gear. We were in our normal clothes, and we didn't have running gear. And needless to say, we didn't go out for a run. We just sat there and drank beers the entire time.
Well done.
They still look new. They do. But they're not. I promise you. They've run on since. He ran in them 3 times or something, and still new. And I've run in them many times since, and it was such a gift. And I was so glad no one fucking remembered that I had these new shoes. I wasn't pulled up. I didn't want to be drinking out of my shoes.
Bad lighting.
Yeah. It was a beautiful run. Christmas lights were up. We ran. Oh, what's the building? Had the big Christmas tree with the red lights. Bank of America building.
Oh
yeah. Ran by there. We ran up near California and near the St. Francis maybe, or some hotels up there, and had some wine, hot wine. What's it called?
Wine. Trust us. No, we don't drink.
And we ended at a beer check on a pier in the middle of the bay, right underneath the Bay Bridge. I shared memorable
That too.
beer.
We understand. Totally understand. We understand.
With my dad. And that was a fucking great night. I know this. I want you guys to know what he meant to me. I know he meant a lot to you guys too. He was such an amazing source of support. Anyone who had the fortune to have his advice knows this. I know this is typically reserved for significant other, and certainly Fiona fits the bill in every way, and he told me this many times. But to me, he was half of me. My soulmate. And the love of my life. I would have given him mine. I'd like to close this speech. Sorry to end on a downer. You know, with a line from a Beatles song, "Across the Universe." He loved the version sang by Fiona Apple. And
Just trying to connect the dots there.
He loved beautiful guitar work. There was beautiful guitar work in that.
And women named Fiona.
Thank you.
That's it.
Good save.
He said to me years back also, he wanted to learn that song on guitar. He was a beautiful guitar player. I listened to it today because that was my sister's song to him. They listened to it together the last time they saw each other. There's a line in it so fitting. It's like it was written for him 40 years ago, whatever it was, for this exact moment. And I only changed it a little. I only took out the word "and." That's it. Everything else is exempt. The lyrics go. Images of broken light, which dance before me like a million eyes. They call me on, across the universe.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
I can imagine him now, running through the universe. Forever now, finding his way, guided by the stars, back home. The Muff Snatcher.
Brother Hasher, here's the Brother Hasher, may he chug along. He's happy, he's jolly, he's fucked up by golly. Here's the Brother Hasher, may he chug along. Drink, motherfucker, drink, motherfucker, drink, motherfucker, drink, motherfucker. Here's the Brother Hasher, may he chug along. Woo! Woo!
Oh my God!
Yeah, Windbag wants to come up and much quicker. Sean.
Yeah.
Sean, there's a record you don't know about that your dad was proud of. Did you mention you beat him in this record and this record?
On your knees.
No. As TJ said, he would never have a diet without beer. Many of you don't know, but Steve did the New York Marathon, he did the Boston Marathon, and once upon a time he said if they gave out an award for the person that the 4 months leading to the Boston Marathon had the best time in the Boston Marathon and drank the most beers, I would have won. Record not known to many people.
I'll go quick. But for those of you
All right, you guys, hold on. We're gonna kind of wrap it up because the police said, "Can you hold your beers down?"
There's no beer here now.
They want us to kind of wrap it up, so we're gonna wrap it up.
I'll make it snappy. For those of you that know me, you know I never write anything down, but I really didn't want to fuck this up. So I just wanted to say a couple words about Muff Snatcher. I mean, really a truly classy guy. And a guy that I always kind of look to as like the adult in the room. For many times for me, being so immature, he was always above the fray. He was always above the drama. He was always a steady hand in the crazy situations that the hash can find itself in. And by crazy, I could say there's nothing more crazy than him being co-GM with Doggy Style. And those idiots asking me to RA with Orangapoontang and Son of Shit. Now, you know people, there's actually a time when the hash asked for my wise ass comments. And they actually gave me the floor for a year with these people.
Never again.
But yeah, exactly. Now I just say no. Because I realize when you're up here talking, you don't get to drink. Just FYI, if they ask you to be RA, don't do it. You have to talk.
Where's Bacon? She makes sure your glass is always full.
Yeah. So at the time, I thought this was like a rare lapse in judgment from Muff Snatcher, because everyone predicted like this war between the RAs and the no, really just the RAs and Doggy Style. And while actually nuclear crisis was averted, we did kind of have our own little Bay of Pigs Cuban Missile Crisis problem. And that was when Muff Snatcher and Doggy Style obviously scheduled Snowball on the completely wrong weekend. I'm sure you guys all remember the disaster that was 2008 Snowball. Oh yeah. No? No one does? I was wrong? What?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Unfucking believable. So anyways, so they scheduled Snowball on a weekend that none of the RAs could go. And we may have been some of the most vocal RAs ever. And maybe voiced our displeasure through several like repeated downs to Doggy Style and emails. And it was intense. But through it all, Muff Snatcher, the one adult in the situation, was super cool. And he was in Glasgow, I think. I actually looked up the email today. He's like I don't even know where, is that Scotland?
Yeah.
Okay. No judgment. He wouldn't judge me, all right?
He would, he just wouldn't say it.
not only did he do the right thing, which was to tell me, Orangutan and Son of Shit to go fuck ourselves, which he did, he actually diffused the situation, and he did something even more impossible. By the end of the year, all 5 of us were very good friends. And that's, to me, I mean, yeah, if you were there, that's amazing. But at the same time, I think Steve was also, at least to me, like a kid. So I spent a long time in like the front of the hash, and you just always like, you look back, and Steve's there, like he's in the back row, like being an adult, but he's dying laughing. And if you go to the Facebook page, a lot of people have posted a lot of pictures. One of the things that like touched me the most is there's all these pictures of people smiling, except for one guy, and that's Steve. Steve is like balls out laughing in these pictures. Like I don't know what Facebook is doing, but like he's the only one that sees it, and he's just having the time of his life. And to me, like his ability to, you know, to just like really let it out and have a great time. You know, he just wasn't, to me, he wasn't afraid to have fun. And I think in the hash, a lot of us can take that for granted. But especially, like, to me, for him being the adult, it always seemed a little bit more poignant. So, of all the things that Steve was, there's one thing he did that really meant a lot to me. And that was he always took the time to get together with friends and to set up things for his friends to do. And not a lot of people do that. You know, Steve would frequently come all the way across town to like listen. Steve and Fiona both would come to my gig, or they would come to my party, which is in North Beach. Which to me, this is the middle of fucking nowhere. I would never come see me in North Beach. Like, I mean, that's crazy. He would always do that, and he always would take the time to set things up. He would set up trips with his friends. You heard about to talk about tonight. He'd set up runs with his buddies. He would set up beers with people. He started like, I don't even know how many groups he had on Facebook for like, hey, let's get together and run and drink beer. And I bet there was like more than 4. I mean, Steve like took groups of friends and like turned them into a community. And I think to me, Steve gave a lot of us an amazing gift that we're gonna have for a long time. And that's memories of being together and having fun. And that without his planning, you know, without his work, without his invitation, there's a lot of really beautiful days I had with all of you that are still here that I wouldn't have had if Steve hadn't done those for us. And I think, to me, we are all different because of like the time that Steve took to like bring us together, and that he may be gone, but his impact isn't in that respect. And that the memories may be nice, but I think the nicest thing we can do to honor Steve, maybe not the nicest, let me take that back. That was overstated. But a nice thing we can do to honor Steve is to do the same, is to call your friends and get them out on trail, to call your friends and meet up with them on a Friday night. And maybe they aren't hashers, and maybe they don't know Steve, but taking the time to like put things together is something I'll always remember about Steve. And when you're out there, whether you're like with your hasher friends or you're with your people that don't understand, and you're sitting in a beautiful place and you're all sweaty and you smell like shit and you got a beer in your hand, and you just take a moment and think about Steve, because he really gave a lot of that to us. And I just think it'd be amazing if we give that to other people in honor of him. So it was going to be a toast.
Gave me his beer.
Oh, I have it down. Oh, yeah. I only did this to get this 2 ounces of beer. Yeah.
Take it in your hand, Mrs.
Murphy. It only weighs a quarter of a pound. It's got hair on its neck like a turkey, and it's tense when you shake it up and down, 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 down,
That was purposeful.
That was purposeful. By the way, that was the first time I ever didn't fuck up his name. Like, Muff Person. It was like, for years. Muff, I don't know. Luckily for hours. Practice.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drink. Woohoo! All right, do we have anyone else? We are running short on
one more.
Here or down?
We're perilously low on down.
I came for the downtown too.
Came for a down too.
This is very, very short. Yeah, you know, one great thing about Muff Snatcher, because I was a GM before he was, and actually was Who's Your Daddy. I kind of plotted to bring him on nefariously through subliminal messages like putting them in the
that's right.
the hash directory 18 times saying I'm the next GM. And somehow he woke up one day and said, I'm the next GM. But it's funny because in discussing this with him, he would always say, "Dude, all I care about is running and drinking beer." I thought, you know what? He's the ultimate hasher. Because that's what it's about. Yeah. It's about running and drinking beer.
Amen.
It's a new song, damn it.
You're not number one.
We're doing nuggets today.
Donnie.
We're doing nuggets. He's a hasher, true and true. He's a best bud, so they say. Rather than running the other way. Drink it down, 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 down.
Wherever you are, Mustache, we're drinking your beer.
All right, we have a card for, if you haven't signed it yet, there's a card going around. Who has the card?
It's over there.
It's over there, you know, and
it's in the police department.
It's in the police department. It's evidence for this evening. It's going to get us out of jail tonight. So, can we proclaim, what date is tonight? It is the second week of April. Can we proclaim that the second hash in April will be the Muff Snatcher Run?
Yes.
Yay! Can we proclaim that Cherry Poppins will not be the hare? Can we proclaim that it will be not next to a police station?
Muff Snatcher Anal Run.
And there'll be 4 kegs.
Alright, the on is at Ireland's 32.
It's that way somewhere.
Right. So let's bring up the hare. It'll be simple. Let's bring up the hare. And the hare. And the hare. And the hare.
Chose next to a police station.
One white one, one blind one, and one with a little shite on, and one with a
like a police car to follow you home.
What did you think of the run?
S-H-I-T-T-Y-T-R-A-I-L Shitty Trail. It sucks. Shitty Trail. It really sucks. I'd rather sit here and drink beer. Run your shitty trail. Drinking down, 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 down.
All right. Cherry Crappins, where is the on?
Ireland's 32, you said that already.
It's at Ireland's 32, I said that already. Do I have to repeat myself?
Gary and third. Go that way. You'll see it.
All right, in that area. Oh, do you want to be here and send the hat?
Yes, I have a closing remark.
All right.
In the 2 years and change that I have been hashing, and I'm very new compared to a lot of you. I've only been up here for less than a year. The love of the hash is a beautiful thing, so our virgins, please do come back and realize that you have found an amazing community, that you can go halfway across the globe and have family. I had people in Alabama contacting me today with their condolences who have never met Muff Snatcher, but they know my mom, who knows Baba, who knows Douche, who knows me. And it's an amazing web of love and support and community. And in the 2 years and change I've been hashing, I have now lost 3 amazing men from the kennels that I've run with. And your lives are forever touched by the hashers that you meet. So, you know, the next beer you have, the next run you go on, the next hash you go to, hold that memory with you and know that you have found family no matter where you go across the world. And with that, all I want to say is, may the hash go in peace.
May the hash go in peace.
We are not a cult.
With our heads up.